Pro Playmakers, these are the skills that separate.
Welcome to Pro Playmakers video blog number 15. This is a blog specifically for forwards regarding forcing switches. Forcing switches is an outstanding tactical maneuver that you can do that allows you to buy time and space. We hear all the time, and it become a bit of a buzzword about creating time and space. Well, this is a legitimate way in which you can plan in your shift of how you can create more time and space for yourself and be able to make more plays. So in the offensive zone, let's say for example you win a board battle up here and you come out with the puck. So once you win that board battle, you can expect to receive defensive pressure. So now one of the defensemen who was engaged in with you, he now is going to pressure you. So what you want to do now is force this defenseman into a decision. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep bringing him up the wall. And as you bring him up the wall, he starts to get concerned about his positioning because you're taking him farther away from his net. If you take him further away from his net, a lot of coaches will have a line on the ice. Like for example, they might say the hash marks. So on the hash marks, this D will now leave you and switch with another guy that will then pick you up. So once you come above this line, this guy now, he starts to peel back. Now that you've forced a switch, you now have created time for yourself because now this guy has now left you, and then it's in that time that allows you then to make a play. Now let's say that the coach on this particular team and this opponent don't have those kind of rules in there as to when this guy can stop engaging you. He might just stay with you. Well, if he stays with you, now you take him as far away from his net, and now you cycle the puck down low. So when you cycle the puck down low, this guy is now way out of position. And you've created a ton of space now between here and wherever the guy picks up the next forward picks up the puck. You've now created a ton of space for your line mate. So that's a way in which you can create time and space for yourself or your line mate, and you just read and react based on the work of the defenseman. If the defenseman switches, now you're going to have time between the time in which he leaves you and the time in which the next checker comes to you. That gap of time will be a time in which you can make a play. If he stays on you, you've now created a ton of space behind you so that your teammate now has all that room to work to be able to create a secondary play. Another great way to buy time and space for yourself and forcing switches is when you're engaged down low. This way, I talked the last time about coming up the wall. Now what I want to do is if you're engaged in a board battle and you win the board battle, now you want to go this way to gain the back of the net. So what happens is that the defenseman who's responsible for you, again, he has to make a choice. The choice that he makes is whether or not he's going to continue to go with you behind the net, or he's going to switch off with his teammate, which means he would come to the front of the net, and then his defense partner would pick you up on the other side. So as you can see, this guy chooses to leave you, and this guy chooses to engage. Between here and here, you've now bought yourself all that time and space, which you can now make a play. And what ends up happening is that you may choose then to hold the back of the net. So then now you have both of these guys looking the wrong way at the least amount of ice, which exposes you because now you're facing the most amount of ice to create more dangerous scoring opportunities. The last switch that I'm going to show you, there's many switches that you can do. I'm just giving you a couple of examples just so you get a feel for what switches really are. Off the rush, this is a common one, especially in minor hockey, which is when what you're going to do is try to exchange or interchange crisscross positioning on a 2-on-2. And what happens when you crisscross is you force the defenseman into a decision. And the decision is whether or not they're going to go with you. So let's say this guy here is the puck carrier. So this guy's engaged with him here. Now he crisscrosses with his partner this guy has to choose, do I go with him? Or do I switch him off and let this guy pick him up? And if these guys have poor communication, each one of them may not have the right idea, they might not be on the same page, and that's going to create a ton of opportunity for you just by a straight crisscross and forcing these two defensemen into a decision. They may have a miscommunication, which then creates an opportunity that you wouldn't have had on this 2-on-2 rush had you have just stayed in the straight 2-on-2. Like I said before, everyone talks about creating time and space, and it's a very nice buzzword, and a lot of people use it, but not everyone shows you exactly how to create time and space. And that's what this is about giving you a legitimate and viable way in which you can create time and space. So forcing switches is one of those ways you can do it.